Welcome back to Daytime, and we continue with Dr. Rod Overton, chiropractor, and we just finished talking about pregnant women and back pain. I know that all of us who shovel driveways have experienced some degree of back pain at some point in the past and in the present, although weather right now is okay. What are some things we can do to just avoid it in the first place?
Well, the best strategy is pay the kid down the street to shovel your driveway
for you. Go.
That works really well. Well, there's a few things to keep in mind. First of all, if you're into a snowstorm and it's snowing for a long period of time, shoveling frequently to keep the load down really helps a lot.
Yeah.
Shoveling is really it's a vigorous exercise that you're about to do, and people don't think about that. So we should really treat it like a vigorous exercise,
right.
Meaning warm up a little bit first. Go for a brisk walk for maybe 5 or 10 minutes first, and maybe a little stretching of your legs and your shoulders and your arms. That would be very appropriate as well.
Well, it's no coincidence that there are lots of people showing up in emergency departments with heart issues when they've gone out and done some shoveling
Absolutely.
Unprepared.
You don't want to ignore those signs, that's for sure. Call 911 right away.
And I think you're also right in that a lot of us sort of think, well, I'm going to wait till this stops. Then I only have to do it once,
exactly.
Instead of getting out and doing it more than once.
Which, if you are shoveling, it's much smarter to do it more frequently. So, and staying hydrated, like you would with sports, is a good idea.
Right.
Dressing appropriately in multiple layers so that you can take off a layer if you start getting too hot. And probably the most important thing, as far as preparing ahead of time, is wearing boots with good traction, because most of the injuries, or a big part of the injuries that we see, are when somebody slips while they're shoveling. They don't even have to fall and hit the ground. Just the slip can jar it enough to cause an injury.
Yeah, well, this time of year, for example, tonight, we're going to get some rain overnight, probably a little bit of freezing, so it could be slippery underneath, and then if you happen to get snow, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So once it comes time to use this device, and I can see this is one of the more ergonomic type snow shovels.
Yeah, you want to get the right equipment. So something lightweight. The ergonomic handle here means you don't have to bend over as far.
Right.
There was a device on Dragon's Den that was pretty cool, which is a little handle that would come up and attach. That works really well too for making you not bend over as far. And you want something not that big, because if it's really big, you're pushing a lot of weight. And it should be kind of slippery. You can even spray the blade with like a silicone kind of based lubricant before you even start.
It wasn't that long ago that all snow shovels had a straight handle and a big metal, heavy metal bottom on them.
Yeah, and those are really heavy. And if you remember your physics from high school, the force is multiplied by the length of the lever. So if you have a lot of weight out on the end of a long pole, that's a lot of weight coming through those back muscles that are working on a lever about that big.
Yeah. So, and do the injuries tend to be in the lower back?
Yeah, with shoveling quite frequently. If somebody slips and falls, they can be anywhere in the spine, but with shoveling, it's frequently the low back.
I guess the other thing might be to not be in a position where you have to be sort of throwing it, like shovel it over to the side and just kind of lift it up.
The best strategy is to push instead of lifting, whenever you can. Sometimes you have to lift. And if you are going to lift, like lifting anything, you want to make sure you get down low and lift with your legs and your arms, not your back. And you don't want to lift and twist.
Right.
That's when people really hurt themselves.
Yeah, because you've got 30 pounds of snow on the end of that thing, and you're lifting it wrong, like lifting it with your arms and then turning. You're almost guaranteed to be hurting your back.
It's the formula for disaster, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So if you have to throw it forward, and with mostly your legs if you can, trying to keep your back nice and straight.
Yeah.
Those are the key ingredients.
If you get some kind of injury, should you go right away for some kind of examination or treatment? Or?
Well, it kind of depends. You can have, if you haven't done that kind of activity in a while, your muscles are going to be a little sore. And that's not anything serious.
Yeah.
It's something that's lasted a couple days that you want to get checked out.
Okay.
Because that means that you've probably injured something. And it also feels a little different than just muscle soreness. People know what it feels like when you just worked the muscles that you haven't used in a long time.
Yeah.
And that's just going to take some time.
A couple of years ago, I broke down and got a snowblower, so my life is sweet now.
This is the first year I got one too.
Yeah. Well, it's usually a way of guaranteeing you won't get too much snow.
Yes,
by
that's
the
true.
snowblower. So what kinds of things can you do for somebody who has a typical snow shovel related back injury?
Right. Well, chiropractors are experts in restoring the normal function of the spine. We don't treat pain, actually. We treat the problem, and as the problem gets corrected, your pain goes away, because your body has a a wonderful ability to heal itself if we give it the chance.
Right.
Our job is just to remove the interference with that so your body gets a chance to heal. And we do that primarily through adjustments, which are a quick way of coaxing the muscle into, or coaxing the joint into moving correctly again.
Can't do miracles, but it maybe speeds up the process.
Well, I think the way the body heals is a miracle myself.
Yeah.
Your body's got an incredible ability to heal itself. So very often you get great results. So,
Okay,
yeah.
well, some good tips there, some good advice on how to handle that shovel. It's not, I mean, we do it just automatically and don't even think, but
Yes.
we got to
I'm
get it
taking
right.
lots of breaks I didn't mention too.
Oh,
That's
good
very
idea, which is what we're going to do right now.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in, Dr. Overton.
my
And
pleasure.
yeah, whether it's pregnancy or whether it's shoveling, you might want to consider a chiropractor. Stay with us. We're going to talk about Robbie Burns Day coming up right after this.